Well, the new year is a good time to get your finances back on track, and there's good news for those who have maxed out their TFSAs. Ottawa has increased contribution space in tax-free savings accounts by $6,000 in 2022. And joining us to tell us more about it is Peter Sashaki with Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter. Thanks for joining us, and Happy New Year.
Morning, Carrie, and Happy New Year to you too.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you about the lifetime limit in a second, but how is it decided how much this incremental increase is going to be every year?
Theoretically, it's supposed to be based on the consumer price index, and it's rounded to the closest $500. So last year, the increase was $6,000 as well, and we were just shy of what should have been raising the rate to $6,500. So when you add in this year's consumer price index, it should be up to $6,500 now, but apparently there's no inflation, no consumer price index, so it's still $6,000. I can't figure it out, but hey, $6,000 is better than nothing.
Okay, $6,000, that's what it's increased. What is the lifetime limit on that then?
It's now $81,500. So that's what you're allowed to have contributed since this started many years ago. It's now up to $81,500.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of money. Good on you if you can invest that much money in a TFSA. So when you put it in for a period of time, what happens when you take that money out?
When you take that money out, in most cases, almost all cases, it's tax-free. The growth on that money is tax-free. But then you can actually replace whatever you take out without it affecting your lifetime contribution room, but you can't put it back in until the following calendar year. And that's why in one of our segments in November, December, we were talking about if you need money for something, use your TFSA, because at least then when the calendar turned over, you can put that money back in. And again, it doesn't affect the contribution room. It's just money taken out and then money that can be put back in.
Okay, easy swap there. They had to wait until the next year. Is the profit that you get from a TFSA ever taxable then?
It can be taxable, and there's a lot of cases that have happened where people have been taxed. And to keep it simple, the reason would be if you're using your TFSA as a day trading account, buying and selling stocks, and you're basically operating it as your own personal stockbroker, even though you're not one, and you're day trading, well, then you're operating your TFSA as a business. And TFSAs are a personal vehicle, not a business vehicle. So there have been cases in the past, and people have fought the government and lost, where they said, no, it shouldn't be taxable, and it was taxable. So just make sure you're on the right side of the law there and using it more as a longer-term savings plan. Or even as we've talked about before, you can have multiple TFSAs as a short-term savings plan. You can have more than one, but don't use it as your personal day trading account to basically operate as a business, or else you could get stuck paying tax on the growth. Okay,
that's good information for business owners out there who were thinking that and then just saw what you said and like, okay, we'll can that idea. But you're a big proponent of TFSAs. I mean, in what situation should we get one?
Get one really in a couple different ways. You can use a TFSA as a long-term savings plan instead of an RSP, and then you're not forced into, I have to buy RSPs. It's that magic day where, I have to count them towards last year. Use them as long-term savings. But also, it's a great thing as an emergency fund. Use one with lower risk, maybe just a savings type account for an emergency fund. We talk about putting away 3 months income, have it there just in case you need it to pay bills. So using it as short term, but also long term, and then use the TFSA to feed your RSP. Because what if you put all this money into an RSP, and as you talked about earlier in your show this morning, what if you're one of those people, a third, potentially, who suddenly can't work because of COVID, and you've just put all this money into your RSP, and now you can't really take it out without tax consequences. Having the TFSA there as an emergency, just in case, is a great thing. And now with the $81,500, there's a lot of meat in that TFSA in the sense that you could have a lot of savings put in there for long term.
No kidding. All right, Peter Sashaki with Everything Financial. Thanks for joining us and telling us all about how we can navigate the TFSA system.
You may, Carrie. Have a great day.